We want you to meet a man who started a movement to help the homeless with just a muffin.
Say hello to the Muffin Man, Jacob Kaufman on Skype from San Francisco, and his partner, Julia Levy in Atlanta. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Jacob, take us back to the beginning. How did you become the Muffin Man?
I'm so glad you asked. Actually, before that, I just want to say, Chef Arnold, I want the recipe for those tater tot muffins, so find me. But going back to that.
We're going to get them to you.
It all started about 4.5, 5 years ago. I was actually at my uncle's house, and he was whipping up some batter, and I asked him what he's making, and he said, muffins, they're really easy. And I am just a simple lawyer out here. I'm a tech lawyer. I know nothing about baking. The only thing I'd ever baked was like the Pillsbury dough where you cut up the cookie dough, you know?
The best.
And, but I went home and I had some apples, so I found a recipe on Google for apple cinnamon muffins. Ooh. And I made them. And I made a dozen. I had one. It was pretty good. And I thought, what am I going to do with the rest of these muffins? So in San Francisco, we have a lot of homeless people. And I used to live in a place where I could walk to work, and I'd walk down Market Street, which is a major thoroughfare, and walk past a lot of homeless people. So I decided that on this particular week, I had these 11 muffins, and I would go and hand them out. So I walked down the street, I handed them out. People were really appreciative, especially of the fact that I had actually baked these myself, and it felt good to them, it felt good to me. The next week, I came back with 24 muffins. The week after that, 24, and I just kept doing it. Every Sunday night, I'd bake 24 muffins. I'd walk down the street. People would wait for me. People would say, oh, here comes the Muffin Man. You know, what flavor you got today? Stuff like that, and it just became a weekly tradition.
That's so great. That is wonderful. Now, Julia, you helped turn Jacob's gesture into a national movement, right?
Yes, I was living in New York City at the time. I was working in fundraising, and I felt like people needed to know there were other ways to give besides writing a check. So I started a blog called Why We Give, where I told stories of ordinary philanthropists. And Jacob was one of my early features, and I fell in love with his story. I was so inspired by it. I was living in New York, walking to work, walking to the gym. I saw homeless everywhere, and I wanted to participate. So I used the power of social media to create a movement. We're calling it the Muffin Movement.
The Muffin Movement.
Love it. It's so wonderful.
So how did the first National Muffin Movement Day go for you guys?
It went really well, and we have social media to thank. So Jacob and I, living in 2 different places, we hopped on FaceTimes, and we also started Google Doc to plan and dreamed up all these ideas, created a Facebook event, and invited our friends and family. But we also used Twitter, which was incredible. I started tweeting at people and bakeries, and they stepped up and started to participate, donate prizes, retweeted, helped us spread the word. Eventually Instagram with the visual images of the muffins, and through the hashtag #GiveMuffins, it started to spread beyond our friends and family. And then we said, maybe we can sweeten this deal a little bit more, and then Jacob stepped up.
One big thing about National Muffin Day is that for every person who bakes and gives muffins, I donate $10 to Project Homeless Connect, which is this amazing local organization in San Francisco that provides all sorts of needed services. And my former law firm, Smithline PC, has joined, as well as my parents. So for every person who bakes and gives, $30 goes to Project Homeless Connect. So every year we're trying to get bigger. Our first year we had 70 people. This year we had 235 people all across the country baking and giving muffins. So that's almost $7,000 for Project Homeless Connect.